Which game is most likely to be played at a function or gathering of Black people? Is it A, Uno, B, Solitaire, C, Monopoly, or D, Spade? And if you know the answer to this question, then you definitely want to stick around for the rest of this video. Hey guys, it's Kwana back again with another review. Hope you guys are doing awesome. So I checked out an early screening of The Blackening, which is a comedy horror film directed by Tim Story. And I'm going to tell you in this video all the reasons why I think you should watch The Blackening. I'm not even going to hold you on that. I think you should watch The Blackening. It releases in theaters this weekend, the weekend of Juneteenth, so June 16th, it will be in theaters. And this is a movie that is like begging to be seen in theaters with your friends, with your family. It is rated R, so you definitely want to only bring the adults, okay? But it is meant to be seen communally, okay? So I can't stop smiling when I think about this movie. That's just how much of a good time I had. And I went to go see it by myself, but the great thing about this movie is that I did not feel that I was alone, because it was a film that felt like we were having a shared experience, me and the rest of the audience. So The Blackening is a film about a group of friends who go away for a 10th year Juneteenth anniversary weekend gathering and find themselves stuck in a cabin in the woods with a killer. And in this cabin, the killer is prompting them to play a game called The Blackening. It's very likened kind of to the Saw franchise a little bit. And the game involves them answering questions that challenge the idea of their blackness. Most disturbing about this game is that the game features a miniature kind of Sambo minstrel figurine in the center of the game. Yeah, we're going there in this movie. The film was written by Tracy Oliver and Dwayne Perkins, directed by Tim Story. It stars Yvonne Orji and Jay Farrow. You've got Jermaine Fowler. You've got Grace Byers, you've got Melvin Craig, you've got Sinqua Wells, who just had the White Man Can't Jump reboot, yeah, that one. You've got Antoinette Robertson, you've got Dwayne Perkins, who is also a writer on the film, you've got X Mayo, people who have been involved in very funny projects. But I definitely feel like this is one of the funniest films that I've seen in like the last 5 or 10 years even. And I'm going to put it out there and say, I think this film is funnier than Girls Trip. I am not a comedy girly. And so the fact that I was literally like clutched in my chair, crying, laughing, is a big deal for me. It's a slasher-esque film, but also a comedy. The only thing that I can really kind of liken it to is the Scary Movie franchise, but think like the early films like Scary Movie 1 and 2, when the comedy was still kind of really super sharp, super fresh, albeit I'm not a big Scary Movie fan. And none of the jokes felt uber raunchy here. There were conversations that were adult conversations, but there wasn't a whole lot of vulgarity. Now, there is very liberal use of the N-word, but very much in a communal, this is our community expression kind of way. Now, this film has a diverse cast of characters. Can the characters be a little stereotypical at times? Yes, they all kind of represent a stereotypical trope in film. Not just necessarily a stereotypical trope in the Black community, but a stereotypical trope in film. And along the way, what we get to see is that they defy those stereotypes, or they go beyond those stereotypes. And that is another thing that this film does that is super refreshing. At the end of this movie, I just kind of sat there and I immediately wanted to get on Twitter and tweet Tim Story and say, please tell me there is a sequel to this film in the works, because that's how much I enjoyed this experience. I give this movie a solid A. Solid A. But you guys, if you're not familiar with my rating style here, not only do I oftentimes describe myself as rating on a curve, because I'm a teacher who doesn't mind giving a curve every once in a while, but also I don't rate movies against like the best movie of all time. I rate movies based on the genre that they're in. And for this being a comedy horror film, it's superior to most. Superior to most. And for it just being a straight comedy, it's superior. Now, if I had to just take this in the horror genre and put this up against like a Get Out, is that going to be the Get Out? No, because it's not trying to be Get Out. It's a comedy. But it's so many homages to classic horror films. So if you are a horror film, you're going to enjoy the film because you're going to recognize little touches here and there that they're borrowing. It is a slasher based film as well, so you're going to notice all of those things, those tropes, the being in the woods, the running in the woods, all of those things that are common. And the whole concept here is the inside joke of the Black community, which is how we would respond to being in a horror movie much differently than what we see sometimes our white counterparts responding in the movie. It also plays around on the idea that, you know, rather than the Black character being the first to die, a la Scream 2 with Jada and Omar, if everybody's in the movie is Black, then they all can't die first. So somebody Black has to survive, which is a win. Yay! Okay, time for a follow-up question. According to Collider, what is the most popular slasher film of all time? Is it A, Halloween, B, Psycho, C, Friday the 13th, or D, Nightmare on Elm Street? Let me know down below in the comments what you think the answer is, and I will let you know if you're correct. Another question. What date does Juneteenth commemorate? Now, Juneteenth is the celebration of when, after the end of the Civil War, when the last slaves were alerted to their newfound freedom in Texas, this was the date on which this event happened. Was it A, June 10th, 1888? Was it B, June 16th, 1875? Was it C, June 19th, 1865? Or is it D, June 20th, 1866? You know the drill. I'll let you know down below in the comments. Okay, another question. What food do Black people not play about when at a cookout? Is it the ribs? Is it the cake? Is it the baked beans? Or is it the potato salad? Which actor portrayed one of the very first Black protagonists in a horror film? Is it A, Daniel Kaluuya, B, Dwayne Jones, C, Brandy Norwood, or D, LL Cool J? Let me know in the comments, and bonus points for if you know the character's name, because I didn't say it here. The Blackening is definitely a film that I think you should check out. This is really a unique experience because we really get to see this entire cast of Black friends experience this very normal-esque horror film scenario. And it's something that hasn't been done to this nature, and it was such an interesting but also realistic look at maybe perhaps how, in what ways we would be different, but also in what ways we would be very similar to what we've seen happen in horror films since the 1960s. Okay, so I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I've told my friends already about it. If I can go see it again and get babysitter and talk my husband into going to see it, I definitely will be doing that. So let me know if you plan to watch. All right, one last question. It's not on the board, but what drink is consumed on the Juneteenth holiday that is one of my all-time favorite drinks? Let me know if you think you can guess. And if you can guess correctly, maybe we can be friends. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more content like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, give this video a thumbs up. And if you are into horror films, they're not necessarily going to all be horror comedies, but check out the playlist that'll be on this side of the screen and or the video that's on this side of the screen. Okay, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles!